Are you a real estate investor that just had an amazing deal land on your desk? Are you dreading developing that pitch deck that's going to bring in the money for you to be able to fund the deal? If you're dreading that, then we have the solution for you. Today, we're going to show you how to develop that in only minutes using Gamma. My name's Heather Grizzard. I'm a real estate investor and I work in automations and AI. And I'm here with April Elias, who is a professional at AI and she's also in people acquisitions. And she was showing me a deal that she just had brought to her, a mobile home that she needs to raise $25,000 for. And she showed me this beautiful deck, and I was like, wow, how long did it take you to build that? And she's like, oh, less than 10 minutes. And I was like, how? And she was showing me this amazing program called Gamma. So, what we're going to show you today is how to go from A to Z on making a beautiful pitch deck in only minutes. So, April, what's the very first step that you took for this?
So the first thing that I did was I gathered some details about the deal of what I thought an investor would need to know. We had already done some work on getting the comps and figuring out what types of renovations needed to happen. And so I was literally sitting on the couch with my iPhone and I was just taking notes, and it was like shorthand notes. And then I took those notes, I copied and pasted them into ChatGPT, asked ChatGPT to create a prompt for me, and then I put it in Gamma. So I can show you exactly how I did that right now and how quick and easy it is. So the very first thing here is I'll share my screen. So can you see the ChatGPT?
Yep.
Awesome. So I already copied from my notes, and this is literally all I had, that it's a mobile home fix and flip opportunity, that it's, the address, the investment that I'm looking for, the return that I'm going to pay, and just a few things about the renovations and the ARV. And all I did was I came to the beginning of my sloppy little notes here, and I love to talk to text to AI. So I did exactly that. I said, create me a prompt to use in Gamma for me to create an investor pitch deck to raise money for this deal. And that's it. And I just made sure that Gamma was spelled correctly. And then I hit send. And so what ChatGPT did for me was created a prompt that I can copy and paste into Gamma. I did not change a thing. And I was just like, this looks great. Let me go ahead and just hit copy right here, make my way over to Gamma. And then I chose paste in text. You have other opportunities to do it in other ways, but paste in text. And then I simply just pasted the text and I got rid of the little bit of text from ChatGPT at the beginning that's not part of the prompt, and then the little bit of text at the end that's not part of the prompt. Left it on presentation, left it on default. I scrolled down, I selected generate from notes or an outline, and then continue to prompt editor. And then it took me to the next page. And then I had the opportunity to select minimal, concise, detailed, extensive. I left it at detailed. And then I didn't change anything because the AI in Gamma automatically figured out what I'm trying to do with this prompt. And then it created its own prompt of, create this for a private real estate investor seeking short-term, low-risk returns. And then I scrolled down a little bit and I just scrolled through some themes. This is the theme that I chose. So I clicked select theme and then hit generate. And it was literally this simple. Then I just watched it come to life before my eyes, which is super fun to see. And it's fun to watch Gamma build the deck for you. So not only does it organize the slides in the appropriate order for doing an investment pitch, it also starts to generate some AI images that would likely go on the slide. So it goes through, it does all of the things. It looks really nice visually. You can easily read it. And then it also does a really great job of matching the images to the color theme of the presentation, and it breaks things out for you, and it'll give you graphs, all other kinds of things. And like, if you like it, you just leave it the way it is, but you have the opportunity to edit any element of this. So you can edit it yourself manually just by clicking in it and typing in there. You could delete it totally. And when you delete something, so if you delete something, it will automatically auto adjust and align it so it's perfectly aligned and centered, and you don't have to spend any time doing that. So I love it for that reason. And I can show you the actual one that I used and the way that I went through it and tweaked some of the images. But Heather, did you have any questions on what's been created so far?
Yeah, this looks amazing. And I saw that you could create, like, choose your theme. You could even choose the art style. So if you're not a fan of this, illustrative art, then you can actually choose like more realistic. You can choose line art. You can choose a whole variety of things. And the cool thing is there is this Ask Agent in here. Do you want to explain a little bit more about that?
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. So what I did was I imported an image of the actual mobile home that we're looking to fix and flip. And I needed it to just kind of straighten the image, clean it up a little bit. And it was able to do that just through some back and forth conversation. And let me go back and see if I can pick up the actual deck that I used. So this is the one that I used, and this is out in investors' hands right now. And it literally took me less than 10, 15 minutes tops. But Gamma generated this image. And then this is the actual image of the true mobile home. And in order to do that, all you do is you click on the image and then you select import image. And then there it goes, right exactly where you need it to be. And if you want to work with the image, as Heather mentioned, you just go into Ask Agent. And so I went back and forth a little bit. I wanted it to clean it up, do some things, and then because I wanted an accurate representation of what the home looks like. And so this is what it looks like today in real life if you drove by. And then later on, I wanted to give the vision of what we intend to do with it. And I did all of that through using the agent, meaning I gave the agent the parameters of what I was going to make it look like after the fact, and it went ahead and it got it super close to what we're going to do. We're certainly going to change the color of the deck. The deck prior was red, and then we're going to improve the exterior because that's part of the budget. And since it's such a small project, we're able to do a lot. And yeah, I felt like this was saved me tons and tons and tons of time being able to prepare a deck like this. And then I saved it as a PDF and then I texted it over.
So you're telling me that this is probably the best tool for fix and flippers who are trying to raise capital because you can actually like use AI to give that final representation of what the reno is going to look like.
Absolutely. If you can prompt it properly, just through natural language and just being thoughtful about how you would describe the after, you can totally do that.
That's awesome. And then you could also use it as slides. So if you needed to do a Zoom or something like that, presentation style, then you could always just do it like a regular slide deck.
Yeah, exactly. And if you remember the notes that I put in there, they were short, they were not descriptive. They just said, we need to do the deck, we need to do the roof, we need to do the kitchen, the bath. It didn't say what we were going to do or how we were going to do it. But Gamma's AI is intelligent enough to put some additional context in here for you. Like we had kitchen and bath refresh, but then it added updated fixtures, modern finishes, improved functionality to appeal to today's buyers. So it did give a little bit more text or some copy to your slides that go along with the intent of pitching this to an investor that I thought was really great. And I hardly had to tweak this at all.
That's awesome. But if you did want to tweak it, say you want to just do like a whole slide, April and I have also used this for other presentation styles. So I'm familiar with Gamma lightly. But I do know that you can edit whole slides with AI, which is really cool because instead of having to, like, if you just hate the slide, you can just have it redo it, which is
Exactly. Right
awesome.
here. Each slide you can edit with AI and you just prompt it to what you would like to happen. It does give you some suggestions on writing and things like that, or you can add an image, or you could take text and say, make this text more visual or make this image more visual. So if you have like bullet pointed time frames, like in January we're going to do this, in March we're going to do this, it'll take that text and it'll take that and create a visual from it, which we've seen that happen and it's really cool. The other thing that you can do is you can reprompt the entire presentation if you use like the main menu functions up here, or you could do it slide by slide in each AI function in the slide.
Which is cool if you're doing this for marketing purposes, because one thing that's, hard to really pinpoint is your brand voice. And so if you wanted to like completely rearrange either the image style or the brand voice, so that's super cool that you're able to do that all at one time.
The other thing I just thought of as you were talking was the other use case is, and I'm not a real estate agent, but when I had a real estate agent list our luxury flip, I mean, this is the other side of the luxury flip. Our luxury flip, they created like all of this marketing material and these handouts. It's called something specific to real estate agents. But this could be a quick way to like mock this up and get this out in a pinch and also have it in a PDF format, like ready to go to potential buyers.
Especially for commercial properties, because commercial properties are expected to be more on a professional level than single family homes. So you could just throw in like all of the stats, all of like if especially if there's not a broker involved where they're, spending all the time to develop that 40-page PDF that you get for the operating memorandum. You can create like a kind of an informal operating memorandum.
Yeah, exactly. I love this. It literally saved me hours. While that's not everything Gamma's capable of, there's definitely a lot of use cases and really just unlimited possibilities.
Man, I wish that I had this in school. I remember whenever I was in college, I spent at least 2 to 3 hours on making a PowerPoint, and it didn't look near as good as that.
I also just wish that I remembered to use Gamma because recently I needed to raise capital. And the reason that I didn't raise capital and I sought out hard money was because I was dreading making the deck, meaning I thought that I didn't have enough time to pull it all together, have it look creative, and have it look really good to a potential investor. And I just went the hard money route because I was like, oh, I'll just send, all my documents. I don't have to get creative necessarily. And when I was creating this deck for the mobile home opportunity, I was kicking myself because I know about Gamma. You and I both use Gamma, and I didn't even think to come in here to say, here are the parameters of my deal. Please create me this beautiful presentation that I can present to investors confidently, raise the money in first position, and just be done. So definitely, definitely a tool worth checking out. And I certainly will, it will be my go-to going forward for any presentation needs.
Yeah, so don't miss out on Gamma. You can go to gamma.com and sign up. It's a small subscription, but if you're serious about capital raising or really presenting information in a professional way to people, then it's definitely a really solid tool.
Yeah, I agree.
Just like what we presented today with Gamma, we share tips and tricks all the time about the latest AI tools and how to make your work easier or your day more productive. And we've actually created a school community for that. So you can go into school and search for AI Momentum Lab. That's the name of the community. It's completely free to join, and we give away free resources. There's even a free mini course in there. We're just trying to give back to the community and really help people embrace AI within their business and their personal life.
In addition to that, there's also the opportunity to participate in our virtual and our 2 day in-person workshops. We do them all over the country. We have so much fun. So please be sure to check those out on our website at aimomentumlab.com. And don't forget to like and subscribe to this video. Thank you.
Thank you.